protection, throwing, catching, really everything. We weren't very good in that area, and that kind of stops your drives. Doesn't allow you to have a lot of plays to advance the ball. I'd say probably number 2 is explosive plays. We keep running them out here and trying to generate them against our defense. Taking the shots as much as we can with still being smart. I think those are the 2 biggest areas. I mean, there's a lot of things, but third down is always going to be important. Especially if you have a young quarterback, you got young moving parts to the scheme. And then I just told these guys, you can't miss the easy ones. Like, sometimes if an easy one, the guy drops it. Like, it's going to be hard enough to make these things. So I would say those are the 2 biggest things we're going to address here in the spring. And a lot of that explosive plays come off the run game. I mean, so I think we've got 2 really good backs here right now. We got a couple guys coming. I think we're going to be a more run the ball, try to spread people out, pound the ball, and that has to lead to the shots. And I think that's what we have to get better at here this spring.
So does the scheme evolve maybe more from last year in terms of RPO, spread it out?
Well, I think it has to a little bit in terms of who we have available. Tight end wise, I think we were a little more. Hillman was a big back. We got a bunch of tight ends, so it was a way to crunch people down and try to, pound on them a little bit and slow them down in the pass rush. But personnel-wise, we don't have, the big hulking tight ends or anything now. I think it is going to be more kind of spread them out, use our guys as much as possible. I'd say right now, if we played a game, Raheem and Isaiah would be the guys we're trying to get the ball to as many times as possible. Hopefully, there'll be some other guys that kind of get themselves in that mix. And so, in that vein, in terms of what we have for personnel, I think we're going to spread it out a little bit more.
Chris, talked about the quarterback competition being a competition. What do you have to see from Art this spring to kind of feel a little more confident?
Well, I think it has to. I think we all have to be better. We got to coach them better, and we got to get better schemes. We got to get better everything. We were 1-11, and where we were ranked, and ultimately, if you are the quarterback in that operation, the production a lot of times falls on you. So, I think the accuracy, calming down a little bit in the pocket, for work-wise, just trying to be a little more confident and not, getting out of whack physically and making a throw that misses. Giving himself every opportunity to hit whatever's there, with a little more poise maybe in the pocket. But I think we just need to see production, particularly on third down and with the throws down the field. I mean, I think the top 2 things that we need to improve on are the top 2 things that the quarterbacks need to do well. Also, they're the guys with the ball in their hands trying to make these plays. I think we'll hit explosive with the run game. I'm not as worried about that, but in terms of trying to hit balls down the field and convert third downs and be accurate in the red zone, that's the quarterback.
Coach, you have a lot of, not a lot of experience behind Art. What's it look like there now? Should something happen to him? Or?
Well, I mean, I think, at least, and we don't know what Johnny's, status is, but Johnny's a guy that's athletic, he's accurate, he's got a lot of poise, he's played some football, he's exposed to a lot of things scheme-wise at Boston College last year, even though he didn't play there, he was in, the meetings, and he kind of understands a lot of football. So he's handled kind of this onslaught of information pretty well. Cole is another guy who's just kind of ingrained in playing the position, even though he's a 3-sport athlete. He didn't play football year-round, but he thought it year-round, I guess, and he worked with people year-round to play it. So he's got some poise and accuracy and ability to play the position as well, and they're athletic guys. So, until you get into a game, you never really know how that's going to look. But I think so far, for these guys, for a couple of days, all this stuff that's been thrown at them, they've operated it pretty well. And I think I'm trying to just find what they can do well and just try to keep feeding it to them, dress it up a little bit. When you're going against the same defense, you can't run it the same thing every day. Try to get a handful of things those guys do well and let them have some success at least to get started.
Is there a thought in the back of your mind maybe to move Jonathan if something doesn't go according to plan? Back, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to give that. I think right now he started there as we started the spring. After a couple of weeks, not the spring, but back in the winter program. After a couple of weeks, said, "Hey, look, I think I want to play tight end." Now, obviously, there's a lot of opportunity there, and he's gained weight since that decision, and he's putting a lot of time into getting better at it. You guys were here the other day, made a ton of catches and stuff. He looks good playing it, so I don't know if that would be or not.
From a development standpoint, how important is that now?
Yeah, I mean, I think otherwise, like I said, at least we can get an idea from the spring We're going to get them as many reps as possible. You know, those three guys have been kind of split the ones and the twos pretty equally, just to see where we are. You know, I think it's kind of, we told them they were when they were coming here, they were going to have a chance to compete right away, and they're giving it to them. And you know, if he wasn't here, we're sending him the stuff in the mail, or you're talking on the phone or watching the film. It's definitely not the same as going out there and doing it. Because even when we did some of the stuff with towels before we had the balls out here and we're walking through stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, this guy's got a pretty good handle. All of a sudden, everybody's moving. It's a little bit different. But I mean, if we went to play today, there's like 4 or 5 concepts for each of them that they have wired pretty good, and that's a pretty good place to start.
Talk for 2 more.
I'm sure last year you don't want to experience that ever again, but do you almost like the relish and challenge of being able to kind of fix it and turn this thing around offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's on. I think we're all. The good thing is we got a lot of great kids, and we got enough talent. That's for sure. So, you know, I think it's a little bit working together to kind of. I think we know each other a little bit better now. I think I have a better understanding. I mean, a year with guys sometimes just come in and throw it all at them and wonder why they respond one way or another. And as the season goes, you kind of learn the guys. So I think we have a better handle for what the end result will look like, regardless of, you know, being harder up in practice. I think we have a better feel for what we can do, what we're going to try to maximize those talents. But it's certainly, I mean, we're staring at Mount Everest here, so every day we got to just kind of chip away at it.
Jonah Jackson leaves. Any thoughts of putting Seymour inside? Amari coming in, is that on the table? Or?
Yeah, I think we got to see where Amari, you know, how he comes along. You know, the only thing I would say, I think certainly Kamal can play there, and I think you don't know where he's going to play as he goes on in the future. It could be outside, it could be inside in terms of the NFL. So I think he's certainly an NFL player. But there's a certain continuity there, at least for him. Now, maybe not the side of the line, but for him, and understanding. And he's a guy that kept kind of progressing along. I think to make the switch, I think if we ever were to do that, you'd have to be pretty darn sure that this is it. And right now, we're not there. And I think he's, you know, Crimin's done a really good job, you know, knock on wood so far at guard. Vaneski got a lot of experience last year, and Crimin did too. Vaneski got a lot of experience at the end of last year, and so I think right now we feel pretty good about the guards, and you know, hopefully that stays true. You're really evaluating 4 or 5 guys before you make the move. Cooper's got to do it. Kamal's got to be comfortable there. Crimin's got to be kind of so-so, and Vaneski can't. So I think right now we have at least enough solid guys that we feel pretty good about the front. I think Kamal would rather stay there because he needs to keep working there.
And O'Neal at left tackle?
Yeah, right now. And he's done a good job. I mean, he's young. We tried to get him, we thought we would play him last year. And every time he kind of was getting ready to play, it'd be an injury or something like that. It kind of sideline him, then he'd come back, then injury. And really, in the end, it's probably just as well. He saved the year. So you're going to have an inexperienced guy there, but he's really athletic, he's tough, he's smart. He's been hanging on everything with Pete, trying to learn, you know, new techniques and so forth. So, you know, he's the guy right now, and unless something, you know, there's competition, you know, like I said, for everything, but hopefully he does what we think he's going to do and he holds on to that spot.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. See you guys.
Be careful.
See you.